I'm David Bass, and you're watching Griffon Sports Insider, sponsored by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy.
You're watching Griffon Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Easley and Ryan Menley.
'Twas 2 weeks before Christmas, stockings hung on the mantle while Griffon basketball prepares to invade the Panhandle.
You've had a lot of good opens. That was terrible, quite honestly.
Right, I'm sorry, I didn't have a lot of time.
That's all right.
That was bad.
But you know what? The 6-3 Griffons play their final 2 games of 2013 this week and a tough road trip to Oklahoma. Missouri Western makes the trek to Northeastern State on Thursday. The Riverhawks are 7-2 overall, 2-0 in MIAA play. Then on Saturday, it's on to Central Oklahoma. The Broncos also enter the week at 7-2, 1-1 in the conference.
And joining us now, head coach Brett Weiberg. This is kind of a homecoming of sorts for you as an Oklahoma guy. I'll talk about going home. You're familiar with both these teams, both these coaches
we are.
this week.
Both those guys. When I came, I knew, Terry Evans he's a little older than me, but he was a fantastic player at OU. I mean, a great player. He still holds some of the records at OU basketball. I think he may be the all-time steals leader, maybe the all-time assist leader, but he's also one of the top 10 scorers there in OU history. So he's just a little older than me, knew his dad. My dad knew his dad. His dad was kind of a legendary high school coach there in Oklahoma City. And then Coach Gibson, the first time I remember him is when he was coaching NEO. My dad was coaching at Northern. And they had some big games. And so I've known him since he was a junior college coach. And of course, both those guys recruited my guys the last 7 or 8 years. And I've had guys play for both those guys. And so, looking forward to it. And certainly it's a homecoming in some ways, but obviously, our whole thing is just go down there and try to play well.
These are 2 good traditional basketball schools. In fact, before the 2 teams came in the MIAA, you always look forward to seeing them in the South Central Regional in the tournament because those teams are going to be there. NSU was there last year. Central Oklahoma came on strong at the end of last year. A lot of those guys return, and you're going to see 2 good scores this week. Hobbs from NSU, Josh Gibbs from Central Oklahoma. Talk about the challenges those guys present.
Both those guys are good players, and those are 2 different positions. Hobbs plays point for them, and he's really a combo scoring guard, but also is their point guard. And then Gibbs is kind of like an undersized 3-4 guy. Both those guys can score it. Both those guys score it from all over the floor. Both those guys can make free throws. They get to the free throw line. I've had experience playing against both those guys in the past. They both played in junior colleges that we actually played. The common thing they have, in common is they both have won their fair share of games in the past, and both will present challenges for us.
We highlighted this layoff a lot, 12 days, in fact, since the win against Hayes. And, the last time we had a layoff like this, it was only a week, but you took the team to Illinois Springfield, and probably, I guess, if you look back at our 9 games, that outing may have been the most disappointing, at least as I would think you would say. Have you done anything different in preparation for this week, or has it been the same?
We haven't done a lot different. We did take yesterday off, and then we took a day off midweek last week. So I think the whole thing is just trying to get them to focus. And I really believe that in my personal opinion, is it really starts today. Overall, I think if our effort's good, then we'll have a chance. And there's no reason that our effort can't be top notch. But you're right, it's been a long layoff. And I think in a perfect world, we wouldn't have that layoff. And so trying to manage that and do that. But at the same time, it is what it is. In the same period of time that we've had this long layoff, most teams have only played 1 game. Sure. Most teams have only had 1 game mixed in there, and so we just got to make the best of it, and again, have a good day today, tomorrow, and Wednesday.
You know what else is top notch?
I'll bet you it's a tantalizing trio.
Well, it is, but remember we renamed the segment Weiberg's Wit?
Oh, yes.
It was very witty last week.
I think we should rename the segment Weiberg Hates All of Your Questions.
He hates my questions and gives me one-word answers. That's okay, too. I think it's good. It's been a good segment. I've gotten a lot of fan mail about it. They like your wit. In our soup's beef stew.
Beef stew,
Beef
great.
stew.
I don't think that's really soup.
Well, it's stew. It's an option.
Yeah, well, okay.
Speaking of options, to continue with the holiday theme, I've really liked your answers to these holiday questions. So, your favorite holiday song?
My favorite holiday song. I'll be home for Christmas.
I'll be home for Christmas. Along those lines, your favorite holiday singer, is it Burl Ives, Bing Crosby, or Andy Williams? Or
you know what? There's a good album I have, the Chris Isaac album.
The Chris Isaac
okay. Christmas album.
Chris Isaac.
Yeah.
That's the I Want to Fall in Love guy.
You're still preferential to the Chipmunks, I think.
Yes,
aren't you?
I am.
You are.
Absolutely.
I know you are. And finally, I'd be interested to hear your answer to this. Do you know what divinity is?
It's a little homemade.
It is,
candy.
and people make it a lot around the holidays. Okay, he knows what it is. Do you like it?
No.
Does Christy Weiberg make divinity?
No, my grandmother
Yes, it's
made
kind
it.
of a
My
grandmother
grandmother
thing.
made it for years
Yes,
and
it
years
is.
and years, and most of the people in my family really.
Do you like divinity?
I'd never heard of that until
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Is it like a chewy thing? or-
It's a lot like fudge, kind of.
Kinda
but
like
it's not.
fudge,
It's
yeah.
not fudge.
Can it be? Yeah.
Ryan Menley would like for somebody to send him some divinity, if you would.
I'm a
Please.
pretty picky eater. I don't think I'd probably
He'd really like it. Anybody with facial hair like you likes divinity. It's just a rule.
Brett
Get some
Weiberg,
wins this week, huh?
All right, we're gonna
keep it
try.
going.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Good luck.
Compete. All right, thank you guys.
see them at Oklahoma on Thursday and Saturday. We'll be right back.
The most helpful physical therapist in the world on breathing.
That's a deep subject. Deep breathing, that is. Stay healthy, my friends.
Ankle bone connected to you, your leg bone connected to you, knee bone, your knee bone connected to you, thigh bone down here, the butt of the Lord.
It's all connected.
Connected to you, hip bone, your hip bone connected to you, backbone, your backbone connected to you, shoulder bone down here, the butt of the Lord.
Missouri Western has a great basketball tradition.
My teams typically are going to show a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of intensity.
Great basketball to me is seeing a team that's unselfish, seeing a team that believes in each other.
I want our people to look at our team and go, they love each other. You can tell they care about each other. I think people can take a lot of pride in being a Missouri Western fan.
It's been a roller coaster start to the season for the Missouri Western women thus far. A 4-0 start followed by 3 straight losses. They'll try to get back on the winning track and even things out this week in Oklahoma. They're at 4-5 Northeastern State on Thursday and 6-3 UCO on Saturday. Joining us now, head coach Rob Edmondson. Almost 2 weeks between games. You cannot like that as a basketball coach.
No, and there's times where you would like it and there's times where you wouldn't. Right now, I think our team needs to be on the floor playing. Continuing to familiarize themselves with each other now. We've had some lineup changes with some injuries and just trying to acclimate these new kids to a different role. And so you can do only so much in practice with that, you know, and then boredom sets in a little bit. And but we need games right now. And then unfortunately we go play 2 and then boom, we're on another break for Christmas break before we come back. Then we'll really be able to get into the routine the rest of the year where we pretty much play on that regular routine throughout the week. But our whole season has felt like that, where we've just felt like, okay, we're playing and then boom, we're off, and then we play and then we're off. And so we've got to do a little bit better job with our scheduling next year, I think, in the preseason, knowing that finals week is going to have that 12 to 13 day layoff because there's no way around it.
We'll talk about these too. A couple of good opportunities this week. You make the Oklahoma swing, some of your longest road trips of the year. You go play Northeastern State on Thursday, then Central Oklahoma Saturday. Talk about the challenges that lies ahead with this trip.
Well, the first thing is just going on the road and being diligent about taking care of your business. You know, when you travel and you sleep somewhere different than you're used to sleeping and you're eating out and then you have the amount of downtime that you often have in a motel, it's how your kids handle that and mentally are they staying focused and preparing. So, you know, that's one of the things I think you have to practice a little bit. But, you know, it's 2 games that I feel like that if our team will stay focused, if we'll be alert to our scouting report and have an understanding of what we're trying to do. I think they're both games that what you try to do on the road is get the game in the last 4 minutes with a chance to win. I think in this conference, every road game is a hard game, no matter if you're playing top of the league or the bottom of the league. It's just tough to win on the road. So our focus will be, let's get this game down to the last 4 minutes. Do we have a chance to win it from there? And hopefully can play the best of the 2 teams in the last 4 minutes.
You mentioned your team's trying to find their roles, and you'd like to hope that's found by November. But you said it best. You know, you got 2 starters that are gone right now, and they're not coming back.
Nope.
And so it's a different team that you're putting on the floor right now.
It's a different team. It's a different schematic in terms of some things we were trying to do defensively, and so now we're changing some of the things we're doing defensively. Offensively, it changes a few things we're doing, but what it really means is there's a group of kids that all have to elevate their level of play and productivity. And losses are a part of athletics. It's a part of every team and every sport, but it's also opportunities. And it just depends how you look at it. Is that glass half full or half empty? And right now, I think our kids are looking at that glass half full. I've really been pleased with their energy and practice this week during finals week, and we're excited to go on the road and play.
Speaking of opportunities, we renamed the segment last week for Coach Weiberg, and we have already renamed it for you, and Ryan brought it back to light. This is I Must Ask You a Question. You said you had 2 weeks off. Did you not try to grow your mustache in the last 2 weeks? Or?
I thought about it, and we're on a little bit of a losing streak, and so I thought the mustache might make a reappearance. And I've got another break coming out of Christmas after these 2 games, and I hope we play well enough to stay away from the resurgence of the mustache.
Well, this is a guy whose glass is always half full, so we probably won't see it. I don't think we're going to, but I'm sure the mugshot you're seeing right now on the screen gives you a little indication. I got to stick with the holiday theme. We're on such a roll with the holiday theme, and you know what? Our drink today, we have a drink special. It's eggnog. You like eggnog? Rob Edmondson, do you like eggnog?
I'm not an eggnog fan. No, I'm not.
Depends on what's in it, I guess.
I guess that could be a little bit true. What's lacing the eggnog?
Unless Eddie just got it from Clark,
yeah.
And it's in the moose glass. Along those lines, what is your favorite holiday song?
I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas.
Dreaming of a White Christmas.
I like that. I sang it here a little bit last year, remember?
I do remember that.
I'm dreaming of a white.
And after that, he may never get to sing it again, but...
Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby?
Yes, he does.
Oh, I thought it was Lil Wayne. My bad.
I think there's that version out. And finally, and be honest with us here, have you ever regifted? Do you regift around the holidays?
No.
No, he never has.
No,
okay.
not a regifter.
Really?
Never been a regifter.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I struggle with being a first gifter sometimes.
Okay.
I'm not a regifter.
You don't wrap up the worst present you get and give it to somebody else the next year?
I am so blessed. My wife does Christmas from start to finish. I'm the guy in a room full of people that when people open presents, they holler out, "Hey, Rob, thanks for that." And I go, "Yeah."
Yep.
And you have no idea.
And you asked your wife on the way home what it was.
Yeah, what it was.
I can relate to that. I can.
Rob Edmondson, let's go, and win 2 this
Let's
week.
do it.
Let's
do it.
And let's be aware of that, too.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
We can say that because you're back, and we won't see it before Christmas now. So, Happy New Year as well. Okay, you do say that. Okay. It's Rob Edmondson. We'll be right back.
The most helpful physical therapists in the world on Dodgeball.
You'll never know when 3-dimensional flexibility will come in handy. Stay healthy, my friends.
Sometimes I wonder if Elvis had hip pain. And if he did, I know I could have fixed it. And if I did, he'd still be alive today.
This is the Hilliard Tip-Off Classic clinic that's been associated with the Hilliard Classic for several years now, and it's basically for 2nd through the 6th grade.
So we have as many kids here in St. Joe. It's a free clinic. We get all the guys out, we get all the coaches out, and just try to have a little bit of fun, teach them a little bit about basketball.
Learning how to play basketball.
And how did that go for you?
Good.
Our grand finale of the day is the free throw contest, and basically what you have to do is hit a shot to advance to the next round, and if you miss, you're out. You make it, you advance. It was the kids versus the players, and the kids won today.
You were one of the first ones eliminated in the free throw contest.
I mean, I missed it on purpose, so.
I don't think you did. That looked like you were trying.
I really was trying.
Most of your players got beat by a 9-year-old on the free throw line. Your reaction to that?
Yeah, a little disheartening, a little concerning.
Yeah, I made just every free throw that I shot.
You beat the
entire Missouri Western basketball team. How do you feel about that?
Good.
You all got beat by a 10-year-old.
Well, you know,
Do it for
we
the kids.
kind of let the kids win.
I don't think any of you meant to miss that.
Oh yeah, you gotta come out and let the kids have fun. It's not about us. That's not about us.
Hey, the crowd was intimidating, man.
I want to try and send the kids home crying.
Yeah, it's not about.
You were trash talking kids after the first make, and then you missed.
Well, I saw them as enemies. If you're on the court, you're the enemy.
So in other words, you didn't try to miss, and you for real missed and lost. You lost.
Just understanding what I'm saying. They enemies, but I wanted them to win at the same time because they was kids.
I'm not sure how that goes together.
Well, you know, I'm not sure either, but it's whatever.
Future Griffons making the current Griffons look kind of bad. Secure the borders, Brett Weiberg. Recruiting class of 2020?
Yeah. Well, hey, they're good. They can shoot it. From bright futures to legendary past, it's been 9 months since Tom Smith stepped away from the basketball sidelines. Now another huge honor for the former Hoops coach. Smith named to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame class of 2014. The longtime Griffon coach, one of 15 individuals to make up this year's Hall of Fame class. Coach Smith retired in March after 46 seasons on the sidelines, the last 25 at Missouri Western. The winningest coach in school history and the winningest coach in MIAA history. He already belongs to 4 other Hall of Fames. This may be the most prestigious honor.
I've been to the ceremony twice, and never dawning on me that one day I would be a recipient of this award. It's just overwhelming. I think the second thing that probably hits me the hardest is that I am not a Missouri. I'm not born and raised in the state of Missouri, and so when awards come along like the Missourian that I was fortunate enough to receive in August, and the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame come along, I think you feel very, very fortunate.
The Hall of Fame induction ceremony January 26th in Springfield. Royals catcher Mike McFarland, St. Louis Cardinals outfielder Willie McGee.
That appeases you.
Yeah, it does.
Cardinal fan.
They're inductees as well, so Coach Smith in very good company, very deserving.
He is, and all the accolades he gets now, very well deserving. And you and I will be in negative 4 Halls of Fame. 4 Halls of Fame, and you know what? This one, you're right, probably the biggest of all of them.
And this
great
one,
honor for Coach Smith.
5th of the year, so congratulations to him. We'll be right back.
St. Joe's really produced quite a few professional athletes in the last few years. One thing they all have in common is they've all walked through our doors here at Spine and Sport.
I've done stuff that I've never done at any other physical therapy place, and I've been to a lot of physical therapists.
I recommend Spine and Sport because of Fred. He has a passion for his athletes.
I would recommend Spine and Sport to anybody from your average athlete to your professional athlete. Train like the pros at Spine and Sport.
Okay, we're ready for phase 3 of our movement prep. Phase 3 is called movement integration. This is where the movement patterns become sport specific. Again, we're ramping up our speed. We're in phase 3, getting that engine started, getting ready to play. But movement prep means that it has to start looking like basketball. So basketball players have to squat, they have to lunge, they have to pivot. So this is going to be called a pivot matrix, where they're going to lunge forward with the right leg, and then they're going to come back, lunge sideways with the right leg, lunge backwards with the right leg. We're going to do that one more time, forward right. So if you look at that, they're pivoting on their left leg. They kind of look like a basketball player. Very good. Now as we go to the other side, we're going to bring in the basketball. We're going to do some dribbling. Pivot, they lunge sideways, they rotate. One more time. So they're warming up that hip, and they're doing both sides. One side is moving, the lunge leg. The other side is stabilizing. Again, flexibility needs to be two-sided. Flexibility, stability. Okay, so we pivot it. Now we're going to increase the speed even more and get into some shuffles. So the guys are ready in their defensive stance. They're going to shuffle right, go. They're going to pick up their speed a little bit, shuffle left, go. Getting ready. Now they're going to switch into some karaoke. To the right, go. To the left, go. Now one important move in basketball is the crossover step. So now as they do this karaoke, you're going to throw in a high knee to the right, go. So they go to the right, they throw in that high knee, they're warming up those hips. To the left, go. Good job, guys. So we both worked on the pivot, we both worked on the crossover step. Movement prep needs to be sport specific. Movement prep is ramping up that speed. We want to prevent injuries, we want to perform at our best. Got to warm up like the pros, therefore come train like the pros at Spine and Sport.
I met Gerald in 2010. He came to me after an injury he sustained in Afghanistan back in 2008. And he described to me as he was in his Humvee and got blown up by a roadside bomb, and that he broke his back, he broke his hip, separated his shoulder. Working with a Special Forces soldier, to think about the demands that he's got to go through. It's a whole nother concept of training like the pros.
So I've had really good progress. But it's been amazing, especially coming up here, working, utilizing the pool for the buoyancy factor, especially at the beginning, to kind of help the actual healing process. I've kind of transitioned from actual mobility to stability, and lately onto strength and resistance and cardiovascular training.
And it took him 2 years and multiple surgeries, but it was fun to see him go from broken to back in the Special Forces doing what he does best, and that's serving the country. And he was a great inspiration to all of us to see him go through that transformation.
Missouri Western has a great basketball tradition.
My teams typically are going to show a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of intensity.
Great basketball to me is seeing a team that's unselfish, seeing a team that believes in each other.
I want our people to look at our team and go, they love each other. You can tell they care about each other. I think people can take a lot of pride in being a Missouri Western fan.
Looking for a holiday stocking stuffer? Are you looking for a holiday stocking stuffer?
I always am looking for holiday
Yes, you
stocking
are.
stuffer. I don't need tickets though, because I work here. I get them for free.
But if you do need tickets, good point. Don't call Ryan Minley because you won't get any free tickets from him. We've got a good holiday stocking stuffer. Tickets to the last 8 home basketball doubleheaders, and a lot of good ones too. A couple right out of the break. Northwest and Central Missouri close out the schedule. For $40, you can get tickets to the last 8 home basketball games. That's half off the face value. It's a GAC. You can get that online at gogriffons.com or call our office 816-271-4481. Operators are standing by.
That's a good deal.
It is. It's a great deal. It's a really good deal. And obviously, we play women's game, men's game as well. So 2 games on one night for the price of 1. If you do the math, it's just $5 a game. So
we'll be back here next week. That's GSI for this week. We'll be back up here next week to wrap up some of the best stories, some of our favorites of 2013.
Had some good ones as always, haven't we?
Yep, absolutely. We'll see you next week.
Gold as always. Go Griffs.
Go Griffs.
Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.